Right, time to do the WEC predictions, and I don't know, to answer some people's questions, why I always start my videos with right, but you know, it just seemed appropriate at the time. I'm going to start at the bottom of the card and work my way up. The only one I'm not interested in is Manny Gamborian versus John Franchi. No, not really interested in that one. Rolando Perez and Seth Deacon. Seth is 6-3, wins and loses mostly by submission. Just coming off a loss, and the only calibre on his record is Charlie Valencia, who he lost to. Rolando Perez, 4-2, mostly wins by submission. He's just beaten Josie Aldo. Interestingly enough, he's never been submitted. I do, however, think that Seth Deacon is probably the person to do it. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say, if you pardon the pun, that it will be, yeah, it was totally automatic, that it is going to be a bar submission by Seth Deacon in the second. Frank Gomez, 6-1, wins usually by TKO, loses usually by submission. He's coming off a loss and has no names on his record. He is fighting Noah Thomas. You'll remember Noah Thomas from Tough, of course. What I don't remember about Noah Thomas is the record 13-4. That sounds a little bit high to me, but there you are. He usually wins by submission. As the other guy usually loses by submission, I'm going to go for Noah Thomas by choke in the second round. Scott Jorgensen and Antonio Banuelos. Scott is 6-2. Wins and loses both by submission or decision. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Antonio, 15-5, wins by TKOs and decision, loses by TKOs or submission. The names on his record are Charlie Valencia and Manny Tapia, both to whom he has lost. This is going to be a difficult one to go for, I think. This is going to be a difficult one to go for, because there's not a lot in it. With Scott's 2-fight win streak, and the fact that he wins, can win by decision, whereas the other guy tends to lose, I think they might cancel each other out. I've just changed my mind what I was going to say. I'm going to go for Scott Jorgensen by decision. How are we doing for time? Not bad at all. Mike Campbell, 4-1, coming off a loss, both wins and loses by TKO, is fighting Anthony Pettis with a perfect record of 6, winning usually by TKO and submission. Now, this probably is going to be a stand-up war, and Anthony Pettis is probably going to try and stand with Campbell. Might go well for some time, probably not going to go so well for the whole time, but never fear, because Pettis will probably take him down and submit him. I'm going to go, however, I'm going to say it's not going to go on that far. I think the chances are that Pettis could win on the feet or on the ground, whereas Campbell, if he's going to win, is only going to win on the feet. So I'm going to go for Pettis by TKO in the first, because I suggested second for everybody else. I don't like suggesting the same thing over and over again. My science of prediction is not that accurate. I don't know why I bother sometimes. Rafael Rebello, coming off a loss, record of 5-3, loses often by decision, wins submission or TKO. He is fighting Kyle Dietz with a perfect record of 5, wins mostly by submission. I think this might go to decision with Dietz losing. I think that will be my prediction on that. With the perfect record, I can't see him being submitted against somebody who's good at submissions. I don't really see him being knocked out, but I don't think Rebello is going to lose. So that's my sort of process that I'm going through there. How are we doing for time? Donald Cerrone and James Krause. Not a hard one to call. I'm going to go for Donald Cerrone here by submission. I'll go for a choke in the first. Josie Aldo and Cub Swanson. I'm sticking with Aldo. I don't like Cub Swanson at all. I think Josie Aldo will knock him out in the first round. Uriah Faber and Mike Brown. Interesting one this, because I think it could go both ways. I think Mike Brown, I think Faber is not going to be put off by Mike Brown rushing him straight away. We saw that when poor Jens Pulver tried to sort of imitate the Mike Brown effect, we saw him sort of go down, and we also saw the same with Leonard Garcia. So I don't think Uriah Faber is going to fall for that same trick again. However, I don't automatically think that means that Mike Brown will lose. I think this could be an interesting one. I really do think this could be an interesting one, and I think it could be closer to call than we all think. I also think that it's a little unfair not to give Mike Brown his due, really. I think if Uriah Faber wins, then he's not going to have quite the same run that he did last time. I think he's now shown the world that he's not invincible. I would like to think that Mike Brown might hold on to it, actually. I just have my doubts. I just have my doubts. That's the problem with that one. I don't know that I will see either of them submitting each other. So I think it's going to be a TKO victory one way or the other. I think if it happens in the first or second round, it will probably happen because Faber has got the better of Brown. I think the longer it goes on, for the better chances Brown has of winning. And of course, the other event, it's not a main event, but it's a main event to me, is Josh Grisby fighting Jens Pulver. Now, it has been put to me that Josh is on an 8-fight win streak, bully for him, that his last 2 fights have shown that he's good at submission when he submitted Mark Hominick, so pleased for him, and he also recently, in his last outing, knocked out Micah Miller. Pleased for him, really am, but I do think that he has outlived his 8-fight win streak, and I don't think he'll make it tonight. I am hoping that Jens Pulver, and I truly believe he will win. I'm looking for a KO. I hope he goes back to sort of his roots, really, and I'm looking for that in the first, possibly in the second if it really takes that long. So those are my predictions, and that's about all there is to say.